everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we are going to be discussing the identity of Catwalker. I did it briefly in this video, but we only had like 2 frames of him to go off at the time, and now we've got 2 trailers full of him, so things have changed. I've got new thoughts, you've got new thoughts, so let's discuss the suspects. The top suspect / who I want it to be most, and if it's not him I will break down and cry for a week, is Adrian. A lot of you are saying it's definitely not him because the costume is so different, but we know from Rena Furtive that if you need your costume to change, then the Miraculous will accommodate, so it is possible it's still him. And while I think Adrian would suit this outfit, it's very formal and kind of prince-like, I don't think that's a good enough indicator physically to suggest it is him. The only physical indicator that it is him is that he seems to be immediately good with the Cat Miraculous, as in a good fighter, and he is also in sync with Ladybug. However, if this is Adrian, we need to discuss the how or the why surrounding why he takes the Miraculous back. So we all know Adrian rescinds his Miraculous because Ladybug shouts at him and tells him he's wasting her time. While I do think she was justified in her anger since he didn't show up, I'm still not sure why he didn't show up, to be honest. It does upset Adrian, so he rescinds his Miraculous and leaves. Ladybug finds the ring and tells Plague she will give the Cat Miraculous to someone who is not in love with her. Now, it seems at this point she could go and give it to Adrian. She knows he's not in love with her, and he has used a Miraculous before, even though he did an awful job with it, but he knows the drill. However, it is a little bit hypocritical of her to say, I'll give it to someone who isn't in love with me, only then to give it to someone that she loves. I understand it has to be someone she knows and can trust with the Miraculous, so Adrian in that sense is the perfect choice, but it is also hypocritical of her. And again, just the phrase of her saying, I'll give it to someone, is kind of odd. She isn't supposed to know who uses this Miraculous, so how can she choose? Perhaps she gives it to Suhan and he picks for her. I doubt Plague would be the one to pick the holder. It seems a bit dangerous for him to be doing that. But it also seems that Ladybug perhaps doesn't pick at all. She seems surprised when she sees Catwalker, although that could be due to the manner in which he arrives, which is a little bit odd, as he kind of scares her, so that could be why she seems shocked by it. And if it is Adrian, Marinette would totally meow at him because it's Marinette, that's the kind of person we're dealing with here. However, she does blush, which also leads me to believe that this is Adrian. Now, why would Adrian accept the Miraculous though? He is obviously very upset with Ladybug, but perhaps he sees this as a chance to get her to fall in love with him if he acts differently this time around. We know Cat Noir is cheeky and flirty, whereas Catwalker seems a bit more like Adrian, in that he's quieter and more gentlemanlike. And not that he knows it, but that is what Marinette obviously likes, since she loves Adrian. I guess this gives Adrian the unique opportunity to give Ladybug a second chance at a first impression, to see which side of him she likes more. However, that's definitely not a good thing. Ladybug blushes, so she's obviously positively responding to his behaviour, to his personality, but it's also going to make Adrian jealous of himself, which will definitely make things worse, not better. I'm not saying that means it can't be Adrian though, but to be jealous of yourself definitely won't make him feel better in the slightest. And it'll make the scowl he gives her at the start of Risk make more sense too, if he's still annoyed with her and knows she has feelings for Catwalker, even if that is also him, not that she knows that though. The final reason I feel like Adrian is Catwalker is because we are in desperate need of an Adrian-focused episode. We've only arguably had one Adrian-focused episode this season, which was episode 2, Lies. 17 Rocketeer was split between Adrian and Nino with some Alia, and 18 Wishmaker was split between Adrian and Marinette with some Luca. The rest of the episodes this season have really been Marinette focused or focused on another character entirely. For example, 14 Sentibubbler was definitely an Alia episode, and I'd argue episode 9 Daddy Agrest was neither a Marinette or Adrian episode, and actually split between Felix and Gabriel with Marinette as a light comic relief. At this stage in the season, Lady Noir breaking up is coming to a head and we really need an episode to see how Adrian is feeling. So I feel he could be Catwalker due to that if we're looking at this from a writer's perspective. It feels a little bit odd to me, who is a writer, for them to introduce a new character to be Catwalker when this seems like it's going to be a major episode for Adrian, finally exploring his feelings properly and a key moment in his arc as a character and him reaching his breaking point. Marinette already had her breaking point much earlier in episode 3, Gang of Secrets. We saw a bit of Adrian breaking down in Rocketeer and Wishmaker, but this episode will hopefully give us more insights. Which brings us on to the next suspect, which is Felix. Again, I really don't think it's him because we need an Adrian episode at this stage, and I do think Felix's other 2 appearances will be in the 2 finale episodes, but I obviously could be wrong. So let's look at the reasons why Catwalker could be Felix. The costume would automatically change for him since he's a new holder, although why he gave him a ponytail and green hair, I think I'll make a separate video about the outfit after the episode airs. I've got some things to say. So we do know Felix can fight. We saw him do it in his debut episode and in episode 9 this season. However, Catwalker, like I said before, does seem immediately in sync with Ladybug, which I feel like Felix, he shouldn't be able to do since he hasn't done this before. Also, Felix isn't that nice, although he can act nice. If he needs to, he'll be nice, I'm sure, and he'd want a Miraculous. They're very powerful, particularly the Cat Miraculous. However, why would he give it back to Ladybug to give it back to Cat Noir? I'm not sure, since this is Felix we're talking about and he does like stealing rings. However, Thomas Astruc tweeted saying, "How would you know the Cat Noir in the finale isn't Felix in disguise?" I swear to God, someone delete the Twitter app on this man's phone. I doubt it's Felix we see in the finale. However, let's play devil's advocate for a second. That would make the kiss in Risk make sense. Felix isn't Ladybug's biggest fan, I think. He didn't like her that much in Felix, but in Daddy Agrest, he was looking forward to seeing superheroes, although he wasn't specific as to who exactly. And I guess he was nice to her during the Akuma battle, but it's not like he had the time to be mean to her either. But why would she give the ring to Felix? She's only really met him twice, and she doesn't really trust him a lot, in my opinion, to give him Miraculous. But of course, he could have been dressed as Adrian when she went to give Adrian the Miraculous, and she wouldn't be able to tell a difference. And then Felix would have to be nice as Catwalker, as he knows Ladybug thinks he's Adrian, who is very nice. It does seem a little bit odd for it to be Felix though. Like I said, as a writer, I feel at this point of the season we need an Adrian episode, and I don't see why Felix would return the Miraculous, and it seems a bit too convoluted for it to be Felix. And I know a lot of you are saying it also can't be Felix because he lives in London, but to be fair, it's not like it's difficult to get to Paris from there. The train in the show is a real train called the Eurostar, hence the name Star Train, and it only takes just over 2 hours to get to Paris. Honestly, whether or not Felix can get to Paris is the least convoluted part of it being him. So if it's not Adrian or Felix, then who is it? I don't know. Again, we really need to know how Adrian is feeling, so it feels weird to introduce someone new to do something incredibly major. And this is incredibly major. It's the Cat Miraculous, not some random Miraculous. It's the Cat Miraculous, one of the most powerful ones. I don't think it could be any of the other current characters we have in the show, but it does need to be someone Ladybug trusts. I had theorised before the trailers came out that it could be someone from the future, because we've been told we get a new character from the future this season. Unless they meant Shadow Cat Daddy by that, because he is technically from the future, then we haven't actually got this new character from the future yet. I thought it perhaps could be Louis due to the green hair, but Ladybug does blush when she sees him, so I hope it's not your son. But if it is her son, then his outfit does make sense. It is reminiscent of Cat Noir's outfit, and if it is Louis, he would have physical features resembling his dad, and also base his outfit off his dad's outfit. But after the blushing, I'm not so sure it's him anymore. I think right now I'm like 85% certain it's Adrian, 10% Felix, 5% someone else, but right now in the season it just makes sense for it to be Adrian. Although I don't know what kind of trauma being jealous of yourself will cause. However, I've always believed that Adrian's true personality was somewhere between who he is as Cat Noir and who he is as Adrian, with Cat Noir's outfit representing one side of him and Catwalker's outfit the more gentleman side of him. Marinette often acts the same as Ladybug does, she just can't really show it in front of people like Adrian as she gets shy. Whereas when Adrian is Cat Noir, that's his escape and he can do what he likes and goes to the other extreme because of the control his dad has over him. So maybe this will help him find himself? Or it could also make things worse. And in addition, the name Catwalker itself makes more sense for Adrian since he is a model and they walk down a catwalk, although I think most people call it a runway these days. There is another theory about Catwalker being a sentient monster, but how would Shadow Daddy know Cat Noir is gone? he wouldn't. It doesn't really make sense in my opinion with the information we've got so far. Kuro Neko will air on the 24th of January at 7:30 p.m. Brazilian time in Portuguese. I'd love to know who you think Catwalker is and why, besties, and I'll see you in the next one.